Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we will be studying from the prayers of Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara. As we understand, this is the Damodar Mas, which means there are many pastimes in this month, Kartik month, but especially with respect to the Damodar Leela, Yashoda Damodar Leela, we have the Ukhal Bandhan Leela, where Krishna is bound with ropes of love to the wooden grinding mortar. But then there's also a part two to it, with what he does with that binding. He walks around liberating those who are bound, right? It's really quite interesting. All glories to Mother Yashoda, who gave a taste to Krishna as to how it feels to be a conditioned bound soul in this world. Because Krishna is always liberated. He's, of course, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto, and he's the Rasika Shekhara Krishna Parama Karun. Eidui Guner Ichar Udgam. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes he's Rasik Shekhar and Parama Karun. Inside he wants to taste rasa, but externally he's very merciful. So he's very merciful. But still, relatability is very important, right? When Mother Yashoda bound him and he was helpless, he couldn't move, that's when he started looking around to those who have been bound for a long time. So therefore, Sajati Ashaya Snigdhe Sadhu Sangha Swatovare. Sadhu Sangha is described as associating with like-minded devotees. So Krishna, he associated with those who are bound. And then at that point, because his Karuna Shakti, his magnanimity, his magnanimous, merciful nature took over, he became the preacher. Till now, Krishnam Bande Jagat Guru, he was preaching through his words. But apani na kaila dharma shikhai na jai, ei to siddhanta gita bhagavate gai, apani karimo bhakta bhave angikar, apani karimo bhakti shikhamu shavar. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, Achar prachar namer karo dui karya, tumi sarva guru, tumi jagatera arya. That preacher means one has to practice and also preach. Both. Achar and prachar. So, Krishna was preaching till now. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna is talking and he's giving Bhagavad Gita classes. But what about personal, physical, practical seva? A balance of both. So he said, now being Jagat Guru, I will uplift. Although he was bound himself, he dragged the wooden grinding mortar and he uplifted the trees. And it is interesting. Sri Hari Suriji, my Guru Maharaj, explains that Sri Hari Suriji in his Bhakti Rasayan commentary, he writes that Krishna was thinking that these trees are called Arjun. And in the future, I will have a friend called Arjun Pandav, but he is Nitya Mukta. They have the same name, but they are Nitya Baddha. How can two personalities have the same name, but two different destinations? They are also Arjun. And the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjun is also Arjun. He is eternally liberated and they are bound for a long time. No, if the name is the same, I will give the same destination. Thinking like this, Krishna uprooted the trees. Another explanation is the preaching compassion of a Vaishnava should be such that he should not wait for himself to be liberated completely. He should keep practicing Janma Sarthaka Kari, but not wait till he becomes a pure Vaishnava. Kara para upakar. Although we are bound, we continue to crawl and help others. This is how the preaching has expanded worldwide. If everyone thinks that I will first become perfect and only then I will speak about Krishna. Yes, this is also a mood, but Srila Prabhupada did not encourage this. Srila Prabhupada encouraged even Saraswati, the little girl, who was saying Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So therefore, Jare dekhe tare kaho Krishna upadesh, Amar agya guru hayya tare eidesh. So Damodar has taught us, even if we are struggling a bit in our practice, as much as possible, we should try to help others. And the explanation is because Damodar helped the two trees, although he was bound, who came and liberated Damodar? His own father, Nanda Baba. So the understanding is, even if we are bound in this world, and if we try to liberate others, at least try to help others, then that day is not far away. When they get liberated, our Father will come to liberate us. For Krishna, it was Nanda Baba, but for us, it is Krishna. Aham bija pradapita. So in this mood, we can see we should all endeavor. Each one teach one. We learn, let's say we learn Upadeshamrita, we learn Ishopanishad, and whatever we are hearing and reading, we take notes, we practice, we implement, we contemplate, and we share. This is our mood. This is our mood, and that's how it will expand. Tat shrunvan, supathan, vicharanaparo, bhaktya vimuchen naraha. Tat shrunvan, we should hear Hari Katha, supathan, study it nicely and read Shastra, vicharanaparo, contemplate and practice, and bhaktya vimuchen naraha, and try to liberate ourselves and others, both. And the more we try to help others, we get helped by Krishna. Please understand, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, we can see Mahaprabhu has soft corner for all his preachers. Those who are preaching Krishna consciousness, Mahaprabhu has a special soft heart for them. Soft corner. I wouldn't say soft corner, soft heart. The whole heart is for them. So even Srila Prabhupada, he would be ecstatic when someone says so many books are distributed, so many temples have been started, preaching has been expanding, so many Vaishnavas are joining the movement. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj in that mood, he's like the victory flag walking around. So inspiring. So inspiring. I at 32, I get tired. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj in his 70s on a wheelchair with a, liver, kidney transplant, with so many health issues, still asking for scores. How many lamps have been distributed in Damodar Mas? How many Bhakti Vrikshas have been started? This is the mood. In Marathi, they say, Moden pan vaknar nahi. There's no translation to that in any other language. But the point is, Bhiyu nako, mi tuja patishi aahe. Continue the fight. We all should continue to fight on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Which is the Kurukshetra for us? The battlefield of this world. We should, as much as possible. Then we will say, well, we may be Mandamati, Prayanal, Payusha, Sabhya. We may not be like Krishna. No harm. We can be like the wooden grinding motor. The wooden grinding motor continued to simply roll behind Krishna. He didn't take a left. He didn't take a right. He didn't use his own intelligence. He surrendered everything to Damodar. And yadyad acharati sreshtas tattat evetaro jana. Mahajano yena gatassa pantha was exemplified by that motor. So if the question is asked, who liberated the two trees? Was it Damodar or was it the wooden grinding motor? The answer is the wooden grinding motor. But because he was Tishtan Vraje Tat Anuragi Jananugami, he was walking behind Krishna in the land of Vrindavan without using his ulterior agenda and independence. So even if we can roll behind the footsteps and the instructions of our Guru sincerely, when Damodar had the wooden grinding motor vertical, the wooden grinding motor was vertical. When Damodar decided it should be horizontal, it became horizontal. When Damodar decided it should roll now, as he is crawling, it began to roll. This is the meaning of Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya Jare Jaiche Nachaite Taiche Kare Nritya. Kashtera Puthali Jata Nachao Se Mate Nachao Prabhu Nachao Se Mate. Prabhupada wrote this, that my Lord, I am a puppet and you are my puppeteer. You make me dance. Oh Lord, you make me dance. So that's the prayer of the wooden grinding motor. It may not be explicit in the Leela, but this is how from Leela Vichar, Tattva Vichar, Rasa Vichar, so many implications and so many lessons come out of the Leela. This is the beauty of the pastime. When we do, it is time pass. It is the opposite. It is not pastime, it is time pass. And it has no lesson. Absolutely no lesson for anyone. It's just paschatap, only guilt after. Why did I do it? Right? But when Krishna does it, it's not time pass, it is pastime. And it is filled with so many wonderful multifarious, it's like a crystal. There's different colors and different ends. Multifarious lessons are coming out for different individuals. Munde munde matim bhinna. Living entities have different inclinations. And depending on that and their level, different pastimes or different lessons are coming out. Okay, this is the Prishtabhumi. This is the background. Now the two trees are uplifted. At that point, the question could be, what are the lessons the trees are teaching us? Prarabdham sakalam sahasva manujo shamam sada chintaya vasam swikuru dhamni sakta manasa vandasva damodaram tarhi prapsasi te swarupam iti dattayena shikshapura vittendratmajayor vitarakamaham Shri Naradam tam bhaje. At this point, when the two trees are uplifted or they are uprooted, let's say, and they come back to their original demigod forms, they are offering their gratitude to Narada Muni. And the whole spectrum or the whole galaxy of listeners of Srimad Bhagavatam, they're all resonating to the mood of Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, that there are 4 things that they did. And if we also do those 4 things, we will get the same destination as them. First is Prarabdham Sakalam Sahasva. Whatever Prarabdha comes in our life, whatever happiness and distress comes in our life, we should learn to tolerate, like how Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara tolerated. When they got cursed by Narada, they didn't counter-curse Narada. Just like Maharaj Parikshit. He could have counter-cursed Shringi, the son of Shamik Rishi. But he took it as a blessing. So the 4 things that we can learn is Prarabdham Sakalam Sahasva Manuja, which means just like the 2 trees tolerated the curse, we should learn to tolerate everything that comes our way. And second, Shamam Sada Chintaya. We should always remember Krishna like how the 2 trees always remembered Krishna. Third, Vasam Swikuru Dhamni. We should try to live in Vrindavan, if not physically, at least mentally. The 2 trees lived in Vrindavan physically also, but for us, if not possible, at least mentally. And fourth, whenever we see Krishna, jump and offer obeisances. So the 2 trees, they saw Damodar between them, and they didn't get uprooted. They jumped off their position and offered obeisances. If we do these 4 things, tarhi prapsyasi te swarupa dattayena shikshapura vittendratmajayor vitarakamaham Shri Naradam tam bhaje. Just like the 2 trees found their eternal constitutional swarup, their eternal identity, that day is not far away when we will also find our eternal constitutional identity, relationship with Krishna. To Narad Muni, who delivered the 2 sons of Kuber and gave these 4 lessons to the whole world as a simple formula to attain our eternal relation with Krishna, to that Narad Muni, I offer my obeisances. The 2 sons of Kuber, look at where they were. They were intoxicated, externally and internally. Externally, they were intoxicated with Varuni, an intoxicant. They were not dressed properly. They were in Mandakini Ganga. They were in the holy abode of Lord Shiva in Kailas. Dhama Parad, Tirtha Parad. Dhama Parad for Kailas, Tirtha Parad for Mandakini Ganga. Apart from that, drinking and intoxicating there, that's breaking the 4 regulative principles. Dyutam Panam, Striya Sono, Yatra Adharma Chaturvidha. Bhagavatam describes Adharma comes in 4 ways and intoxication is one of them. So Adharma is also entered, so that is Dharma Aparad. Apart from that, they were intoxicated with their youth. They were intoxicated with their birth as sons of Kuber. So they had Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribhi Edamanam Madapuman Naivarhatyabi Dhatum Vaitwama Kinchana Gocharam. All 4 things which intoxicate, they were intoxicated by all 4. They were intoxicated by very aristocratic birth as sons of Kuber, which means demigod. They were in Devagana. Second, they were intoxicated by their youth and beauty, exquisite features. They were intoxicated by their learning because they were Shastra Parangat. They knew everything. Just that sometimes knowing and implementing takes lifetimes. Very important. Sometimes we could be PhD on the head and kindergarten in our hearts. We know what Vaishnava etiquette manual says. We know what Seva Aparadha are. But what about doing it? Amarendra Prabhu used to say that when he was told by some devotee about Harinam Sankirtan, Amarendra Prabhu interrupted and he said, so many are talking about it, but how many are doing it? Right? And Amarendra Prabhu would say, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, chanting and dancing in this world will lead to chanting and dancing in the Rasa Leela. For sure. But Amarendra Prabhu said, but I add something to it. If you do it. Otherwise not. So they were intoxicated by their learning, and they were also intoxicated by the wealth that they had. Kuver Atmajau. Look at the Shabda Prayog dekhiye. Look at the way the words have been put together. Instead of saying Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara, Satyavrat Rishi is saying Kuver Atmajau, to say they were intoxicated because of their connection to their father. So in all ways possible, there was inappropriate behavior. And then Narad Muni, as an expert doctor, just like the doctor arrives at the right time to give CPR to somebody who's struggling with heart attack, Narad Muni appeared there to that scene. When someone has a heart attack or someone has health issues, they won't even have the breadth or the capacity to call a doctor. But if the doctor is very kind and very dear to that patient, he can come and he can help. And he can start giving CPR and sometimes even break the bones on the rib, but to save the patient. So Narad Muni is Vaidyaraj. He's the greatest doctor. The patients did not call and go to the doctor, but they were so sick according to the doctor that the doctor came home. Uncalled for. And the situation was such that the patients could not recognize the doctor. The doctor came for the patients, but the patients could not. And he is such an expert surgeon. Narad Muni is the best doctor ever. Look at how many examples of perfect surgery, perfect history Narad Muni has. Whether it is Vyasadeva, whether it is Valmiki Muni, whether it is Prahlad Maharaj, whether it is Dhruva Maharaj, always possible. All great Mahajans are connected to Narad Muni. Narad Muni is ready to tolerate everything, even the curse of Daksha. He is ready to liberate the Haryashvas. Preach extensively. He can even give an allegorical story to Prachina Barhi about Puranjan, just for preaching. That great Narad Muni arrived to the scene. And Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, because of their intoxication or because of their lack of proper respect, Vaishnav culture, Vaishnav Sadachar, they did not bow down to Narad Muni. In fact, they were thinking, what is this sannyasi doing here? In the middle of Kheer, why is it that I'm having these sand pieces, sand particles? Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapa ritachetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. When somebody is flattered by material sense gratification, they cannot recognize Vaishnavas. And this is why Vaishnava para takes place. Because to the extent one has enjoying mentality in this world, to that extent one cannot recognize the Vaishnava in front of us. We become over familiar, we start cutting jokes with them, and that day comes when we even correct them, criticize them, disrespect them, sometimes even neglect them, and even fight with them in degreeing levels of Vaishnava Aparadha. You can see in the 6th canto, Indra, due to some reason, he failed to see the presence of his Guru Brihaspati. And then you can see the whole 6th canto, what happens to Indra. You can see the whole 7th canto, what happens to Indra. Hiranyakashipu comes and asks Indra to leave. Then Prahlad Maharaj's prayer and Nrsingadev's mercy, Indra comes back to the seat. Then in the 8th canto, Prahlad Maharaj's son's Virochan's son, Bali, again comes and asks Indra to leave. Then in the 9th canto, Indra is breathing a bit, and 10th canto, Govardhan Lila takes place, and the fight over the Parijata tree. So you can see one Guru Aparadha goes into compound interest over lifetimes and over yugas, over cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. And here the same thing is repeating. But what Indra did not receive, that the 2 trees got, the 2 sons of Kuber got. And that is eternal residence in the land of Vrindavan. Can you imagine as sons of Kuber, how many lifetimes of bhakti they had to perform to get the mercy of Krishna, to be born in Vrindavan. But by Narada Muni's mercy, it was one life. Just one life as trees and then back home, back to Godhead. So therefore, what appears to be a curse is actually a supreme blessing. Just seems to be covered by the title called a curse, but it's actually a blessing. Sometimes, children, this happened even in our childhood. When cousins would come home and we would have a lot of mangoes during the summer season, and that too not normal mangoes. We used to have apus coming from Ratnagiri. So in our childhood, very tasty, golden, rasik mangoes. Let's put it like that. Galitam phalam. So as children, you don't want to share those mangoes with the cousins who are coming home, right? So what we would do is we would put them in a box, and then on the top write Karela. Cover it with, put it in a box and cover it with the title Karela. So boys who are seeing, they would think that mother has written we put in a box and written as a title called Karela, but they don't know inside the Karela is actually a mango. So this is the meaning. Externally, it seems as if Narad Muni has written Karela, which means in the form of a curse, but inside there are only fully blossomed, tasty, ripe mango fruits in the form of blessings from Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara. Therefore, Tavavatara Khalanigrahaya Ripu Sutanam Api Tulya Drishti. Krishna can only do good and nothing else. The sun can never bring in darkness. Saraswati Devi can never meet ignorance. Annapurna Devi will have to never beg for food. Lakshmi Devi will never get bankrupt. Right? In this way, Vishnu can never do anything inauspicious. So therefore, in North India, they say Mangala Bhavan, Amangala Hari, Dhrubahusu Dasarat Achara Vihari. That he is Mangal Bhavan. The Supreme Lord is the Lord of auspiciousness. And he drives away everything inauspicious. So at this context, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, out of gratitude, they offer a lot of prayers to Damodar. And they offer prayers from Canto 10, Chapter 10, Text 29 to 38. So there are 9 verses. But in today's discussion, we will take only one verse. That is the last verse. 10, 10, 38. Okay, let's chant. Vani gunanu kathane shravano kathayam hastau cha karma sumanastava padayornaha smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drishti satam darshane astu bhavattanunam. So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. So, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara are chanting this to Damodar. Henceforth, may all our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in the oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are not different from you. How beautiful. And this is the last prayer that they chant. They are asking through all our senses, may we serve you completely. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Here the process of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead is given. This process is bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Bhagavatam 7.5.23. Now every line is very important in this purport. So let's pay attention. Everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Now just think, this line is so deep. Everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. If we can only remember this one line and forget everything else in this world, it will take us back to Godhead. This is what it means when Prabhupada says you can read my books from anywhere, even a portion of the Rasgulla remains a Rasgulla. It's sweet. Everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruchyate from Narada Pancharatra. Everything, the mind, the body, and all the sense organs should be engaged in Krishna's service. This is to be learnt from expert devotees like Narada, Swayambhu, and Shambhu. This is the process. We cannot manufacture our own way of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for it is not that everything one manufactures or concocts will lead to understanding God. Such a proposition, Yatha Mat Tatha Pat, is foolish. Krishna says, Bhaktyaham ekaya grahyah, which means bhaktya, only by devotion, aham grahya, I can be understood, ekaya, only by devotion. So only by executing the activities of bhakti can one understand me. Bhagavatam 11, 14, 21. This is called anukulyena krishnanushilanam, remaining engaged favorably in the service of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, we have some commentaries here. We'll go through that. So, this verse is so beautiful. Vani means speech. So, first, I will give a general translation and understanding. So, Vani guna anukathane. And please understand, with all of these terms, the word astu will come. Darshanestu bhavattanunam. From the last line, drishte satam darshanestu bhavattanunam. So that is actually astu. Astu means may it be. So Vani, may our tongue or speech, Vani guna anukathane astu. May our speech or tongue be engaged in guna anukathane. Now 3 words here. Guna means qualities, which means Krishna, your form, your qualities, your leelas, pastimes, your abode, your devotees. All of that are included in the word leela or guna. And kathane means to speak. It could mean preaching. It could mean chanting, japa. It could mean singing kirtan. But it has to be anu kathane. Now the word anu has many meanings. Anu means anukulya bhavena, which means in a favorable way, not describing how Shishupal and Kamsa did, because they also did Vani Guna Kathane, and they also did continuous narration of Krishna's qualities, but it was pratikulya bhavena. It was detrimental. It was not favorable, unfavorably. So here the prefix anu means anukulya bhavena. One should speak, chant, sing about the qualities of Krishna favorably. Anu also means nitaram kathane, which means continuously. One should not just say, I will chant little and I will leave, or I will do little kirtan and I will leave. I'll just preach little and I'll leave, and remaining time I'll do other things. No. Here what they are asking for is Vani Guna Anu Kathane. Anu Kathane means nitaram kathane, continuously. Let we describe you, sing for you, chant about you, and let our tongues be out of control. That's basically what they're saying. Out of control, not in the material sense. May we lose all our control on the tongue. May our tongue keep singing about you continuously, out of our boundary. My Guru Maharaj would say, when Krishna appeared, his qualities stole the tongues of the poets. Quite poetic. Krishna, when he appeared, his qualities stole the tongue of the poets. So all the poets' tongues were only glorifying the qualities of Krishna. Anu also means anugatya bhavena, which means under guidance, which means we should repeat as heard. Not, that's exactly what Prabhupada is saying. We should learn this from expert devotees like Narada Muni. So there the word anu means anugatya bhavena. Anugatya means under guidance. So we should chant as we have been advised. We should do kirtan as we have been advised. We should preach and describe Krishna as we have been advised, like that, not frivolously. So these are general meaning. Vani Guna Anukathane. Astu. What is the second thing that they're asking for? Vani Gunanukathane Shravanau Kathaya. Shravanau means the dual sense has been used for 2 years. Kathayam. Kathayam means in the Hari Katha. So through the tongue, let us chant and sing and describe you. And through the ears, let us only hear Hari Katha and nothing else. Hari Katha hi Katha, baki sab vyatha hi vyatha. Only Hari Katha is worth hearing. Everything else is only waste of time. Then hasta, so chanting, then hearing, then third hastau cha karmasu. May hastau with the 2 hands. Cha means chakara. It gives the hint of and, right? So with the tongue, let us chant, and with the ears, let us hear. And so in Sanskrit, we don't say cha for everything. We just put everything, and at the end we say cha. So you can see in the whole verse, there's only one chakara. Chakara means cha. One usage of cha. Like when you do in music, when the singers are singing ah, then they call it akar. Right? So when cha is used, it's called chakar. So chakar here means and. This and this and this and this, like that. So hastau, 2 hands, cha karmasu. Now karmasu is in bahuvachan prayog, which means in many services. May through my hands I serve in multifarious ways. It could be deity worship, it could be writing for Krishna, it could be making garlands, it could be cooking. That is all hastau cha karmasu. And manas, tava padayornah smrityam. Padayoho, 2 lotus feet. Tava padayoho, Krishna, aapke 2 charan. Your 2 lotus feet. Manas tava padayor naha. Naha means our manas, our mind, may it smrityam, think of your 2 lotus feet. Basically, think about everything about you, but out of respect, they say your lotus feet. Like, for example, when you speak to someone superior, they will never say, "Aap hamare ghar aiye." They will never say that. "Aap kripa kijiye to aapke Shri Charan padhare." That's the etiquette. We never say, "हाँ, आप हमारे घर आइए." ना, हमारी इच्छा है यदि आपके श्री चरण पधारे तो. So that doesn't mean only Shri Charan, only the feet will come. It's the way of hinting the whole personality. So tava padayor nahas mana smrityam. May our mind be absorbed in remembering your lotus feet, which means everything about it. So smrityam shirah tava nivasa jagat praname. And shiras, may our head be busy offering pranam. Where? To this jagat, to this world, understanding tava nivasa sthanam, that you live in this world. Smrityam shiras tava nivasa jagat praname. May our head bow down in all directions, understanding you to be living everywhere. Smrityam shiras tava nivasa jagat praname. May we offer pranam to this whole world, understanding that, my Lord, nivasa, you live here in all directions. And drishti, vision, should be where? Drishte satam, satam means Vaishnavas, darshane astu. May our vision only see Vaishnavas, in the darshan of Vaishnavas. Why Vaishnavas? Bhavat tanunam. Because we believe you live in full potency in their bodies. Bhavat means your, tanunam means bodies. My Lord, you're living in full potency in the bodies of Vaishnavas. And therefore, Guru, Sakshat Haritvena, like that. Seeing them, Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. Krishna says the pure Vaishnavas are my non-different manifestation. So in this way, may our eyes find joy in having darshan of such pure Vaishnavas. So this is the word for word understanding of this verse. So, Naha Vani tava guna anukathane astu, Naha Shravanau twai kathayam stham, Naha Hastau tava karmasu evastam, Manaha tvadiya padayoho smrityam astu, Naha Shiraha tava nivasa jagat praname astu, Naha Drishti cha tava satam bhakta tanunam darshane astu iti prarthana. This is the anvay, this is the breaking up. That may our tongue describe you, my Lord. May our ears glorify and hear your glorification. May our hands serve you. May our mind think of you. May the head bow down to you. And may the eyes only have darshan of the Vaishnavas. Okay? So this is the general understanding. Now let's see what Srila Sridhar Swami, the original commentator to Srimad Bhagavatam, in his Bhavartha Deepika commentary has written. He is such a dear commentator that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say that Bhagavatam should be studied under his guidance. He came in the 13th century, so about 800 years ago, 900 years ago, and his commentary still rules as the first commentary to the Bhagavad. So let's see what Srila Sridhar Swami writes. Now Srila Sridhar Swami has said something very interesting. This prayer seems to be the last prayer in the series. So Krishna tells Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara, okay, now that you are uplifted from the curse and you've got your bodies back, go back to heaven from where you came. So now at that point, they had a doubt in their heart. What if we go and punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, we do the Kwachinya vartate bhadrat kwachit charati tatpunaha prayashchitam atho partham manne kunjara shauchavad. What if we make the same mistake again? What if, like elephants, we go into the water, bathe and come out and throw dust on our body to keep ourselves warm, then again get dirty and again get into the water and clean ourselves and now become cold and come out and now again throw dust to cover ourselves? What if we make the same mistake again in Swarga? Therefore, this last prayer, Sridhar Swamipad has said, it seals their inner desire. Because if this is granted, then never again will they deviate. So, yes, you are sending us back to heaven, but we should not be how we came. There has to be a change. That time, we were using all our senses for ourselves. And that was the main problem. They couldn't recognize Narada Muni. So Sridhar Swamipad writes, now they're asking solution to that problem. That at that time, through the tongue, they were drinking Varuni. But now they are saying, may we never settle for a intoxicant lesser than your glorification. Let's bump up the standard of our intoxication. Not Varuni this time, but we want to describe the glories of that Krishna who is the brother of Balaram, who actually drinks the Varuni. So, Vani Guna Anukathane. Shri Govinda Padamboja Makarand Mahad Adbhutam Yad Paino na muhyanti yad apayinaha. King Kulashekar Alwar has written that Krishna Katha is the greatest intoxicant that ever exists. Why? He says, in this world, those who drink alcohol, they get bewildered. And those who don't drink alcohol, they remain sane. But Krishna Katha is exact opposite. He says, those who drink this alcohol, they remain sane. And those who don't drink this alcohol, they become bewildered. Yad paino na muhyanti. Those who drink the alcohol, intoxicant of Hari Katha, they don't get bewildered. उन पर नशा नहीं चढ़ता जगत का. और मुह्यंती यद अपायिनः, those who don't drink this Krishna Katha alcohol intoxicant. Of course, alcohol, not literal alcohol. It's just a metaphorical comparison. Those who drink this Krishna Katha intoxicant, they don't get bewildered. While in this world, those who actually drink, they are the ones who get bewildered. And those who don't drink Krishna Katha, they get bewildered. But in this world, those who don't drink, they remain sane. So, Mukundamala Stotra, he has flipped this over and said, this is the highest intoxication. Makaran Mahad Adbhutam. The intoxicating nature of alcohol remains only for a few hours and then you need it again. But Krishna Katha is such that you will never feel like putting the bottle down. You feel like spreading this intoxicating nature to everyone around. And those who are already drunkard in Krishna Katha, they are drowning and singing and dancing and jumping in the Kirtan Ras. So this is, therefore, Bandhu Sange Jadi Tava Rango Parihas, Mathurae Keshi Tirtha Ghate Rasakash. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, if you want to be happy in this world, please don't come to Vrindavan and have darshan of Radha Govinda. Because then once your heart is lost to the feet of Govinda, then you will forget this world. So Krishna Katha is like that. So Sridhar Swamipad is saying that they want a change of nature. Before, on the tongue, they wanted Varuni, but now they want Vani Guna Anukathane. Before, with the Apsaras, they were hearing vulgar jokes in their ear and they were just glorifying each other. They were doing Swa Prashansa Kirtan or Par Prashansa Kirtan. But here now they are saying, Shravanau Kathayam. Through our ears, my Lord, we want to hear about you. Their Hastaucha Karmasu, as Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, they were taking water and splashing on the Apsaras. But here now they are saying, Hastaucha Karmasu, through our hands, we want to worship your deity form. And Manas Tavapada Yornaha, instead of remembering material enjoyment with those Apsaras in Mandakini Ganga, let us remember you. And Smrityam Shiras Tavanivasa Jagat Praname. Now this is strategic. When Narad Muni came, they did not bow their head down. So now they are saying with our head, please give us the benediction that we can bow down to whom? Smrityam Shirastava Nivasa Jagat Praname. May we bow down in all directions. Just like how Maharaj Rahugana felt after Jad Bharat. He couldn't recognize. So he says, may I bow down to all the sadhus, those who are recognizable and those who are incognito. Both. And at the same time, there they didn't bow down to Narad Muni because their eyes were rolling and they did not see him properly. So therefore, finally they say, Drishte satam darshane astu bhavat tanunam. When pure devotees like Narad Muni come, may our eyes only look at them. So they are actually asking for an antidote for the poison effect. Sridhar Swami is writing, for the change of nature, this is a perfect prayer. And after which they say, ab ye mangne ke baad ab kuch mangne raha nahi. There is nothing else, nothing higher to ask for. Now, one more very interesting thing is, in Sanskrit, when dual case is used, the word should be nau. Mama me avayoho nau. But in plural case, it is naha. Here it is quite interesting. Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara should have used the word nau, N-A-U. But they use the word naha, N-A-H, with a visarga, which is actually bahuvachan prayog for plural. But there are only two. They could have used dual. Why they're using plural? So Sridhar Swami in his commentary, he says, Asmadoho dvayoscha, which means they are not just begging for themselves. They are begging for all their associates who may have made that mistake. The two sons of Kuber, they are not just praying for themselves. They are saying, all our associates who may have ever misbehaved, my Lord, may all our senses be in your service. And this is quite interesting because we, all of us in this world, we are not sons of Kuber, but we still misbehave. And for all of our benefit, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara prayed. Two of them, they could have used the dual case, but by using plural, that prayer of theirs is a prayer valid for all of us. How amazing. How deep. And then finally, Sridhar Swami Pad, he says that the Supreme Lord lives in this world in all directions. So this Jagat has been called as Nivasa Sthanam. Shirastava Nivasa Jagat Praname. Is Jagat mein, hey Prabhu, aapka nivas hai. This world is your resting place. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. In all directions, there are some temples, especially in Vrindavan. You can sit and do Gayatri in any direction. Some or the other Vigraha is facing towards you. There are so many kunds and so many sarovar and so many rivers and so many pukur, Gwal pukur, Pili pukur, and so many temples and deities and so many sadhus and so many sampradayas and so many gaushalas. And then there's Jamuna and there's Giriraj. So Krishna is living in all directions in so many forms, Sridhar Swami has said, and that is true for this world as well. This is the comment of Sridhar Swami. Now let's come to the commentary of Srila Jiva Goswami in his Laghu Vaishnav Toshini Tika. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad in his Laghu Vaishnav Toshini, he has written, this is very interesting, very, very interesting. Damodar tells Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, by the blessings of Narada Muni, maybe both of you are not qualified, O Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, but because you are blessed by Narada Muni, therefore I bless you to be devotees. Now you return. They feel even devotees fall when they are not properly engaged. So my Lord, just saying Bhakti Rastu, may you become a devotee, is not sufficient. We want details, fine details. You are just telling us that, okay, you return back to your original place. Jiva Goswami Pad says, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara said, we will accept your blessing as becoming devotees fulfilled only when all our senses are engaged in your service. And for that, we need your blessings. So in that context, they are begging for this. So first they start with Vani. So, Bhakta Vatsalyata Saundarya Guna Adi. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara say, first of all, let us walk around from home to home describing how kind Narad Muni is. Where were we? Same thing that Prahlad Maharaj says, looking at Nrsingadev, Evam Janam Nipatitam Prabhavahi Kupe, from the 7th canto. When Prahlad Maharaj, so it's quite interesting. Prahlad Maharaj is in the womb of his mother, and Narad Muni helps him find Nrsingadev. But when he finds Nrsingadev, at that time he says, how can I ever forget the service of Narad Muni, by whose mercy I came here? So this is the meaning of Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. Krishna gives us Guru, and Guru takes us to Krishna. But when we come to Krishna, we feel grateful to Guru. And Guru says, but I am nothing, you should actually serve Krishna. And in this way it continues. I remember one time my Guru Maharaj had come to Houston in America. It is in the state of Texas. And when he entered the house, it was the house of a disciple of Guru Maharaj. So the disciple said, Guru Maharaj, can we have foot bathing ceremony? Can we wash your lotus feet? Guru Maharaj said, iski koi avashyakta nahi hai. There's no need for any of this. No, Guru Maharaj, you're our spiritual master. We want to wash your lotus feet. And absolutely nothing wrong with that. Guru Maharaj said, ठीक है, थोड़ा 2 बूंद स्पर्श कर लीजिए बस. Just touch 2 drops to my feet. Okay. But then not more. So they said, but Guru Maharaj, Sakshat Haritvena, Guru is as good as Krishna. My Guru Maharaj immediately stopped him. And he said, nahi. He said, look, I am simply like the Purohit, the Pujari in a marriage ceremony. He said, when the husband and wife to be, they get married, there's a Pujari who performs the ceremony. He said, after he performs the ceremony, both of them have to live together their life. They may or may not remember the Purohit in that wedding, but they have to continue to live their life together with tolerance and adjustment and higher principles of life. So Guru Maharaj said, Diksha is simply me getting you married to the lotus feet of Krishna. After you're initiated, you have to continue this relationship. You don't remember me. I am simply a Purohit in that. I am simply a priest in that ceremony. So the point I'm mentioning is, the disciple who gets the mercy of Krishna wants the Charanamrit of Guru. But Guru is fighting this mood to tell the disciple, I am nothing, you should go to Krishna. So Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. So Srila Jiva Goswami Pad is saying here, Bhakta Vatsalyata. Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara, they feel that first of all, Vani Guna Anukathane, let us go door to door glorifying Narad Muni's mercy in our life. That you have so much love for Narada, that just because Narada he gave a curse or pronounced a curse, you are ready to liberate us because of your love for Narada Muni. हम में योग्यता नहीं है, नारद मुनि के संग में आने की योग्यता नहीं है. We are not qualified to come in the association of Narad Muni, nor are we qualified to be liberated by you, my Lord. But we are only witnessing. Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are saying, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, we are only witnessing. We too are witnessing the love between you two, Damodar and Narad Muni. Oh, Damodar, you love Narada so much that whomever Narada touches, you are ready to uplift. So this Bhakta Vatsalyata, we want to go and tell everyone. That is why Vani Guna Anukathane, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad writes. Athva, or we have been living as trees for such a long time in Nandagram that Saundarya Gunadi Varnanam, we have been seeing Krishna, your beauty. And many times while playing hide and seek, you have hid behind us. And we feel like looking behind at you. And sometimes you have climbed up and eaten our fruits and touched us and looked from behind the trunk. The two trees, Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara, are saying, we have observed your sweetness, we have observed your beauty. So we are going back and forth. Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are saying, our tongue is going back and forth between your love for Narada and Narada's compassion on us, and what as trees we saw, that is your qualities and your beauty. So in this way, Vani Guna Anukathane, may our tongue keep vibrating back and forth, these 2 points. Then Srila Jiva Goswami says, for Shravanau, he says Vani is used for one tongue, but Shravanau, he's saying in dual case. Why? Srila Jiva Goswami says it refers to both ears for both personalities. This actually means we want to fill both our ears with Harikatha. Harikatha must be heard, just like there was a very great Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya by the name Kavi Karnapur. Why is he called Karnapur? Because his kavita, his poetry was so beautiful that Swarup Damodar Goswami said, Karnam Purayati iti Karnapur. The holes of our ears, they get filled by the nectar of your poetry. Pur means purnata, to cover, to complete. If there is a gap, if there's a pot, if there's a vessel, that the gap is there, or there's a, what do you call it? There's the cup will have a certain amount of depth inside, only so that it has capacity to fill something. So Kavi Karnapur is called Karnapur because his poetry fills up the holes in both the ears, which means one should hear Hari Katha with both ears. Generally, it is called hearing, but Hari Katha should be listened. It's listening. Shravanam is listening attentively. Srila Jiva Goswami Pada said one more interesting thing. Generally, Shravanam and then Kirtanam, correct? But here the order has been changed. Vani Guna Anukathane, first Kirtanam and then they're asking for Shravanam. Oh, why? Srila Jiva Goswami Pada says, because for hearing, you must have a pravakta, you must have a speaker. What if the speaker is not available? Seeing how fallen we are, what if they don't come close to us and speak Hari Katha? Therefore, out of greed, Bhagavan Madhurya Rasaswadane, in tasting the sweetness of Krishna's qualities, may we sing it out loud, hearing that some speaker will be kind enough to come to us and speak some Krishna Katha, then we can hear. We are so fallen that nobody will like to associate with us. So we just want to loudly sing the glories of Krishna. So Vaishnavas will have some compassion and they'll come close. Then they will speak Hari Katha, then we will hear. So Srila Jiva Goswami says in this way, first Vani Guna Anukathane and then Shravanam Kathaya. Then Hastau. Hastau, he refers to deity worship, worshipping Krishna with both hands in deity worship. So this is very important. Every grihastha must spend time worshipping the deity. Srila Prabhupada would also say that is a practical way by which we can make advancement. All these things that have been said here, it is a life-transforming prayer. Whenever our tongue goes in any other direction, we should try to say Vani Guna Anukathane. Only this, nothing else. Kahare na kare ninda. Vaishnaver gunagrahi na dekhaye dosh. Kaya mana vakya kare Vaishnava santosh. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while speaking to Raghunath Das Goswami, he said, Bhalo na khaibe, bhalo na poribe. Gramya katha na shunibe, gramya bartha na bolibe. Amani na man hoiya sada Krishna naam love, braje radha Krishna seva manasi koribe. Mahaprabhu said, the tongue, bhalo na, one should not eat very opulent foodstuffs, and at the same time, one should not keep talking things which are unnecessary. Both those things are, Prabhupada also said, if we chant Hare Krishna and only accept Krishna Prasad, all our senses will be controlled. So that is Vani Guna Anukathane. And through the ear, also we should make sure that Kahare na kare ninda, we don't hear criticism. We should make sure that we don't. Srila Haridas Thakur Mahashaya, Namacharya, he was so subtle about this point. He was so considerate about this point that when he unfortunately had to go through the marketplace whipping, Namacharya Haridas Thakur said, actually, I had heard the holy name being criticized, the power, the glories of the holy name being criticized. And because of that Namaparad, it is good that Krishna punished me this way. Not that it was a punishment. Look at his humility and at the same time instructive to teach us that we should make sure that we don't hear criticism. Very, very important. At that time, you can make fictitious phone calls. When someone starts criticizing, just say, wait a minute, Prabhuji, I'll be back. And just make a phone call and just keep talking something. Ha, Hare Krishna. Ha, Hari Bol Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, and just leave that place. That person has to really be a critical fault finder to come back to that topic once you're done. Right? So most times people forget. And, or you can just say, Acha Prabhuji, you were saying something yesterday which I forgot. What was that? Just make up a topic out of nowhere. And that person, or you can just glorify that person. Prabhuji, we'll talk all this later, but I just want to say that class that you gave or that kirtan that you did, Oh, it was first class. I felt so absorbed. Trust me, he will give up all that criticism, because the glorification that you offered is such a slippery slope. He will fall and swim in that and forget the criticism. Or sometimes you can just say, if that also doesn't work and the person still continues, then you can say, Prabhuji, but that devotee has this side also, which is also very nice. So I think we should see overall. Now you start getting more direct about the good qualities of the other person. The other person still doesn't agree. Then now get into a debate and prove to him how he should not be doing what he's doing. If he's ready to listen, if he respects your thought, if you think in the past he has taken your word seriously and has made a change. If none of this is possible, just leave the place. Just say, Prabhuji, I am not interested. Please forgive me. Once, twice. It's better to break relationships and friendships if that is to protect the integrity of your Krishna consciousness. All relations in this world are like kajal. Of course, I don't have, but for Mataji's. All relations in this world are like kajal. But our Krishna consciousness is the eye. What is the use if we respect the kajal so much and we turn blind in the eye? What is the point? What is the use? If we are taking care of all relationships in this world and we are blind to our Krishna bhakti, what is the use? On the other hand, if our Krishna consciousness is wide open, which means eyes are good, and even if the kajal is not okay in this world, which means we don't have kajal, like great sannyasis who are detached, no harm, no loss. But if the eyes are also open, one is performing bhakti, and kajal is also proper, which means relationships are good, then we must understand between the two, the eye is more important, the kajal is secondary. The eye can be without kajal, but the kajal without the eye doesn't make sense. So all relationships should only decorate our Krishna bhakti and make it favorable on the path. They should be like kajal on the boundary of our main focus. So this is as far as hearing is concerned. Hastaucha karmasu, through the hands we should make sure that we should serve Krishna. I remember one devotee telling me many years ago that he started learning harmonium with an inspiration. He got a dream of his Guru Maharaj coming in the dream and saying, Dear Prabhu, I want you to use your fingers in the service of Krishna, like, for example, learning to play the harmonium. It was just a dream. Somebody could think like that. But this devotee was so sincere. He thought to himself, that's a nice instruction. There was a harmonium on top of his closet. He removed that harmonium. He started playing the kirtan of his Guru Maharaj and started practicing on those same melodies. And today he does kirtan and he uses the harmonium. And he himself told me this, that hastaucha karmasu, with the fingers we can serve Krishna in so many ways. As grihasthas, we can worship the deities, we can cook for Krishna, we can even sweep and mop the place. That is also using the hand. And we can always remember, hastaucha karmasu, I am doing this for Krishna. Now, regarding the head, Srila Jiva Goswami Pada has said something very interesting. Whom should we bow down to? Srila Jiva Goswami Pada says, Shirastava Nivasa Jagat Praname. With respect to bowing our head down to different directions in this world, Srila Jiva Goswami comments, it has multiple meanings. It means bowing down to that Krishna who's present everywhere in this world, in every atom, or bowing down to that Krishna in whose body the whole universe is found by Mother Yashoda in the mouth. So, point number one, Krishna is in the universe, in all directions, in the form of atoms. Point number two, the universe is in Krishna, which means how Mother Yashoda found the universe in Krishna's mouth. So bowing down either to the direction seeing Krishna there, or bowing down to Krishna seeing all universes are in you. Two. Or three, bowing down to the Dham, which is the Nivasa Sthana of Krishna. I know one devotee who lives in America, and every morning he bows down one namaskar to Vrindavan, to the east, because you're in the west. So from wherever you are, you can bow down one obeisance to Vrindavan Dham, because this is Shirastava Nivasa Jagat Praname. This means Krishna Vrindavanam Parityajya sa kvachit naiva gacchati. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. From wherever we are, bowing down in the direction of Sri Vrindavan Dham. The devotee told me and I felt very inspired by that. So that's another meaning, bowing down to the Dham. Another meaning is bowing down to the deities of the Lord, wherever and whenever we find. And this is very important. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shavanastam Namami Harim Param. Just by bowing down to Krishna, sufferings reduce. Just like if there's a bullet that is shot, and if you are able to duck, you save yourself from the bullet shot. So Maya is continuously shooting bullets of prarabdha. So if we can only keep bowing down to Krishna, we can duck all those bullets by bowing down. Pranamo dukkha shamanas. By bowing down, the problems are also lost. And final meaning to this comment by Srila Jiva Goswami, it says, Tava nivasa jagat praname, which means let me bow down to the Vaishnavas in whose heart you live. Tumara hridaya sada govinda vishra. You see, so 5 meanings have been described in this way by Srila Jiva Goswami. May I bow down to all directions in this world, seeing you present there. May I bow down to you, seeing the whole world is present in you. May I bow down to the Dham. May I bow down to your deity form. And may I bow down to the pure Vaishnavas in whom you reside in full potency. This all is an explanation to Shiras Tava Nivasa Jagat Praname. Aapka Nivas jahan ho, us Jagat ko pranam. Now another thing, Drishte Satam Darshane Astu Bhavat Tanunam. Regarding this, in the life of Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara, they did not see Narada. They did not see the potency of Ganga. They did not see Kailas to be the place of Lord Shiva. So basically 3 Vaishnavas were neglected in that pastime. They did not see Lord Shiva's presence. They did not see Ganga Devi, and they did not see Narada Muni. Therefore they say Drishte Satam Darshane. Satam Bahuvachan mein prayog hai. All the Vaishnavas, Bhavat Tanunam, whose bodies are actually your resting place. Now this is interesting because in Chaitanya Charitamrita we say, when Sanatan Goswami Pad wanted to give up his life under the wheels of Jagannath Rath, Mahaprabhu says, how dare you try to give up your life? It is not your body anymore. You have surrendered to me. So how dare you try to destroy my body? Your body is not your body. It's my body because you're surrendered. Manasa deho geho jo kichu more, right? It's mine. So Sanatan Goswami says, okay, you have accepted my body as yours. This is the best thing that I can ask for. Haridas Thakur tells Sanatan Goswami, you are so great. Prabhu kahe tumar deha mor nijadan, tuma sama bhagyavane nahi ko na jan. Haridas Thakur tells Sanatan Goswami, hey Sanatan Goswami, Prabhu kahe tumar deha mor nijadan. Mahaprabhu has said, oh Sanatan, that your body is his property. Therefore, tuma sama bhagyavane nahi ko na jan. There is nobody as fortunate as you. To which Sanatan Goswami tells Haridas Thakur, you are saying my body is Mahaprabhu's, but Mahaprabhu's heart is Nam Sankirtan and you are the only Namacharya. I could only offer my body, but Mahaprabhu's heart has been inherited by you. Achar prachar namer karo dui karya. Tumi jagatera guru, tumi jagatera arya. That you are chanting and also preaching. Therefore, you are greater. So the point is, Bhavat Tanunam, pure Vaishnavas, their body belongs to Krishna. Bhavat Tanu. Tanu means body and Bhavat means, oh Damodar, your property. The bodies of pure Vaishnavas is your property. So let me see those Vaishnavas. Now it's interesting, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, for everything they say, may our senses be connected to you. Vani guna anukathane. Shravano kathaya. Through the ear we want to hear you. Through the tongue we want to chant your name. Through the hands we want to serve you. But only for the eyes, they say, may we see your devotees. So Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara feel, you are sending us to Swarga, where you don't come. And if we as demigods try to come to Vrindavan, Vrajvasis will get scared. So, oh Krishna, I don't think we will ever again see you again. Oh Damodar, now that we are seeing you, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara are praying. Abhi jo aapka darshan kar liya Prabhu, मुझे नहीं लगता इसके बाद हमें कभी सौभाग्य होगा कि आपका दर्शन हो. After that, we have seen you now. We don't think we will ever see you again, because we are going back to heaven, and you don't come there in this form of Bal Gopal. And in Braj, if we come as demigods, Brajvasis will get scared. So either way, we will not be able to see each other. And I don't think we will ever be qualified, even as far as qualification is concerned, to see you. So please give us the benediction. If not you, may we see those Vaishnavas whose bodies are not different from you. To that, Krishna's heart melts and he says, "Oh Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara, I bless you to become Brajvasis here in Vrindavan. May you both become Madhukantha and Snigdhakantha. And may your service be door-to-door preaching. May you go from home to home and just announce the activities of my pastimes as daily morning news. People want to know what's happening in this world. Madhukantha and Snigdhakantha are the news reporters, the anchors, news anchors in the morning. Every morning in Golok Vrindavan, they go home to home and they have a drum and they play the drum and they loudly sing what Krishna's plans are today. Following Vani Guna Anukathane. Last prayer is, it starts with, may our tongue be in your service. And the last line says, may our eyes glance at your devotees. So combining this mood, Krishna benedicted them to become Snigdhakantha and Madhukantha. And it is the same Jiva Goswami who explains that in Gopal Champu as to how they narrate the pastimes of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. Now, very quickly, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in his Sarartha Darshini Tika. Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara offer this prayer saying, my Lord, who are we to you? Naradasya Anuchara. We are the servants of your servant. Chakravarti Pad starts his commentary by saying, Maṇigrīva and Nalakūvara say, my Lord, just like the father is kind to his son, but the grandfather is way more kind. So similarly, your devotee is Narada and his servants are here. Please be kind to us, like how the grandfather fulfills the desires of the grandson. If the son goes to the father and say, I need a balloon, I need ice cream, I need candy, the father will say, no need. Then what does the son do? He goes to the grandfather and the grandfather says, shh, don't tell anybody, just between you and me. And he will go and bring everything for the grandson. So Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are offering this prayer in that mood. Narad Muni gave us a curse, but you are his master. So we are like your grandson. We only want this. Oh grandfather, please fulfill this desire. And Atishaya Vatsalya Priti. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Sanskrit, he writes, Atishaya Vatsalya Priti. Krishna has unlimited affection and love for the devotees of his devotees. Ye me bhakta jana partha name bhaktascha te jana mad bhaktanam cha ye bhakta te me bhakta tamo mata. Those who come and say, I am Krishna Das, Krishna will say, okay, we will see. But Gopi Bhartur Padkamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. I am the servant of this devotee. Oh, that attention, Krishna showers attention there. Therefore, Majjanmana Phalamidam Madhukaita Bhare Mad Prarthaniya Mad Anugraha Esha Eva Tvad Bhritya Bhritya Paricharaka Bhritya Bhritya Bhrityasya Bhritya Itimam Smara Lokanath. King Kulashekara has said, O Krishna, the only prayer I have is you please recognize me as the servant of 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 your servants. Basically, that means Guru Das ei mora parijay. To be the servant of Shri Guru. Prathamam tu Gurum Pujyam Anyatha Nishphala Bhavet. Worship to Krishna becomes fruitless if one doesn't have Guru Nishtha, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas. Then Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, he says, pure Vaishnava, Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are saying, pure Vaishnavas like Narad Muni are your Nivasa Bhut, which means you live in their hearts. So therefore, O Krishna, may I see you as Narad Muni's master. And when I see Narad Muni, may I see him as your servant. And in this way, may this whole world be permeated with Vaishnavas who are all carrying you. In this way, I see you in all directions. So Jagat Nivasa, for that he's saying, may all directions be worshipable to me by seeing Vaishnavas like Narad Muni everywhere who are only living for the benefit of others. It is described in so many languages, Marathi also, in Gujarati also. So many languages, there are so many songs. Jeka ranzale ganzale tyanchi mane jo apule sochi tochi sadhu olkhava deva tethe chi janava. Which means, in Marathi, it means those who are paropakari, which means those who have affection for others and they're going to help others. Tyanchi mane jo apule, those who connect with them and have mamata for the fallen conditioned soul. Tochi sadhu olkhava. Understand the sadhu to be that person who's extending himself for others. Deva tethe chi janava. So it's very interesting. Krishna showers mercy on those Vaishnavas who are busy paropakarartham idam shariram, performing welfare activities in this world. The cow gives so much milk but never tastes her own milk. Ganga gives so much water but never drinks her own charanamrit. Mango trees give so many mango fruits but it never tastes amras ever. In this way, pure Vaishnavas, they have so many good qualities, but they are never keeping anything for themselves. Paropakarartham idam shariram. So in this way, Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are saying, may we see such Vaishnavas like Narad Muni in all directions, and seeing you live in them, may we offer obeisances. Baldev Vidyabhushan Pad, in his Vaishnavanandini Tika, he has said, Vasudevasya. Now this is very interesting. Canto 10, chapter 10, text 22. Narad Muni, he blessed Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara. 10:10:22. Baldev Vidyabhushan has quoted that here. Vasudevasya sanidhyam labdha bhakti bhavishyatah. When Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara were blessed by Narad Muni said, Vasudevasya sanidhyam. I bless both of you, may you have proximity to Krishna. And labdha bhakti bhavishyatah. And may both of you attain devotion to him. So now, when they have attained it, Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are remembering that Narad Muni and saying, pure Vaishnav blessed me to get you. Now we want blessing from you so that we can see Vaishnavas like him. That connection. Narad Muni blessed us so that we can have bhakti for you, O Damodar. Now we beg you, you bless us that we should have service attitude to Vaishnavas like Narad Muni. Like this. May we always be eternally sandwiched between Guru Seva and Krishna Seva and go back and forth. This is the prayer Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan has said. Finally, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad has written a very beautiful, wonderful point. Here the word Padayoho has been used, which means lotus feet. Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad comments that Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are in Dasyarati, in servitude, as a servant. And servant will never say, may I embrace the Lord. May I have the opportunity to stand on the shoulder of the Lord, like the friends do. If someone like Mother Yashoda was praying to Vishnu, she will say, please protect my child. May all his prarabdha come in my life. Like that. Those in friendship, they will pray, may I always have the opportunity to embrace Krishna heart to heart. And may he stand on my shoulder, and may I stand on his shoulder, and may we run around and play and frolic in the pasture grounds of Vrindavan. But because Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara are servants, Dasyarati, Tava Padayohuna, they are referring to the feet of the Lord. Sanatana Goswami Father is writing, because servants always aspire the lotus feet. Ramchandra gave friendship to Hanuman, but Hanuman slipped down and came to the lotus feet as a servant. Ramchandra offered friendship to Vibhishan. Vibhishan slipped down and became a servant. So servant means lotus feet. Lotus feet. So therefore here, because they are in Dasya Bhav, they are saying Padayoho, Tava Padayoho. And you can see here, Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has said, the word Tava has been used twice. Vani Gunanu Kathane Shravano Kathayam Hastaucha Karmasu Manastava. Tava means yours. Padayonah. Smrityam Shiras Tava Nivasa Jagat Pranami. Generally, the same word used twice is seen to be a fault of redundancy. But here, Maṇigrīva is also saying, and Nalakūvara are also saying, My Lord, your katha. My Lord, your service. And therefore, the word tava coming twice is actually an ornament because both are echoing the same feeling. Now, the word satam. Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad says, Shri Vaishnavanam. Now, Shri Vaishnavanam doesn't here refer to the parampara of Shri Vaishnavanam. Shri Yukta Vaishnavanam. Resplendent Vaishnavas, effulgent Vaishnavas, enthusiastic Vaishnavas, those who are filled with Bhakti Shakti. The word Satam, Sanatan Goswami has said, Vaishnavas with splendor of Bhakti. May we drishte satam darshane astu bhavattanunam. With our eyes, may we always have darshan of such enthusiastic, bubbling, fired up, fixed up, lit up, resplendent Vaishnavas. That is the commentary to Satam. Shri Yukta Vaishnavana. Then finally, Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad says, 6 limbs out of 9 limbs have been covered in this verse. Vani Guna Anukathane is Kirtanam. Shravanam Kathayam is Shravanam. Hastau cha Karmasu Manah is Archanam. Manah Tava Pada Yornaha is Smaranam. Then Shiras Tava Nivasa Jagat Praname is Atma Nivedanam. Bowing down or Vandanam, let's say. And then Drishte Satam Darshane Astu Bhavattanunam. This is called Pada Sevanam because when you see someone, you will immediately serve them. Serving Vaishnavas. Not just simply seeing them and standing. We will see them and serve them. This is Pada Sevanam. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam. All these 6 have been included in this one verse. Srila Sanatan Goswami has written. Then he says, final comment, why Kirtanam has been kept first? Why not any other limb? To that he gives 5 reasons. Srila Sanatan Goswami says, first, because Kirtan engages all senses. When you chant, tongue is engaged. When you chant, ears are engaged. When you chant, mantra is going on in the head. When you chant, we are clapping or playing instruments. Hands are engaged. When there is Kirtan, there's dancing. Sometimes spinning with Vaishnavas in groups. So all senses are used. And the verse begs for Sarvatma Snapanam anyway. Let all my senses be surrendered. So that happens in Kirtan. Kirtana Prabhave Smarana Hoive. You see, although Krishna says Smartavyam, you should remember me. What kind of remembrance? Is it imagination? No. Kirtana Prabhave Smarana Hoive. Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur said by chanting and doing Kirtan, heart gets cleansed and Swayameva Spuratyada. The form of Krishna manifests in the heart. And that is what has to be remembered. Like that. So first reason why Kirtanam, because it engages all our senses. Second, Srila Sanatan Goswami says, Maṇigrīva Nalakūvara with the Apsaras, they were singing songs glorifying each other. So therefore they say, we want to rectify that and we want to do Kirtan and glorify you. So that is no more material sense gratification. Third, they know they're leaving Damodar and going to Swarga now. Going to the heavenly kingdom. He says, we don't want to leave you. We want to take you with us. And you have said, Yatra Gayanti Mad Bhaktaha Tatra Tishtami Narada. Where my devotees do Kirtan, I am present. So therefore, Vani Guna Anukathane, may we always talk about you so that we are never separated from you, O Damodar. Fourth point. Actually, 4 points. 4 points. Fourth point and the final point. Kirtan cannot be done alone. Hastaucha karmasu you can do alone. Remembrance you can do alone. Offering obeisances you can do alone. Taking darshan you can do alone. But for Kirtan you need bahubi militva. So that means false ego must be crushed. We have to cooperate and coordinate with Vaishnavas. So they start the verse with Vani Guna Anukathane and at the end they say, let me have darshan of Vaishnavas. Which means this is a cyclic verse. Only when you have Vaishnavas can you do Kirtan. And then the verse ends with, may we have darshan of Vaishnavas. But when you have darshan of Vaishnavas, you will do Kirtan. So this verse keeps continuing. And in this way, Srila Sanatan Goswami has commented. One last point I would like to say, and then with that stop. In Srimad Bhagavatam also we can see In the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj, we can see Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnanam Karau Harer Mandir Marjanadishu Shrutim Chakara Chutasat Katodaye Mukunda Linga Laye Darshane Drisho Tad Bhritya Gatra Sparshenga Sangamam Granam Tat Pada Saroja Saurabhe Shrimat Tulasya Rasanat Darpite पादौ हरेर क्षेत्रानुसर्पणे पदौ ऋषि शिरो ऋषिकेश पदाभिवंदने कामं च दास्ये न तु काम काम्यया यद उत्तम श्लोक जनाश्रयारति. May all our senses be saturated with service for you, my Lord, just like pure Vaishnavas have done it in the past. And Prabhupada in the translation he writes, pure devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. Actually, Ambarish Maharaj's description has been said, and Uttama Shloka Janashraya Rati, like pure devotees, is what it said. But Prabhupada at that point, in his heart, is having darshan of Prahlad Maharaj. So he says, pure devotees like Prahlad, who engaged all their senses. Radha Nam Sudha Rasam Rasayitum Jibhastuve Vivhala Padau Tatpada Kankitasu Charatam Brinda Tavi Vitishu Tad Karmaiva Kara Karo Turudayam Tasya Padam Dhyayatam Tad Bhavotsavata Param Bhavatume Tat Prananatherati. The Brajvasi Vaishnava Acharyas Prabodhananda Saraswati has said in this way, Radha Nam Sudharasam Rasayitum Jivhastume Vibhala. May my feet constantly walk in the dust of Vrindavan. May my tongue constantly chant the names of Radha and Krishna's glories, and the names and the glories of Radha and Krishna on the tongue. Tad karmaiva kara karotu hridayam tasya padam dhyayatam. May my heart remember Radha and Krishna. May my hands serve Radha and Krishna. And in this way, tad bhavotsavata param bhavatume tat prananatherati. May there be a festival of Krishna prem in the heart. And in this way, may I offer all my senses in the service of the Lord. So in this way, the aspiration of pure Vaishnavas is Tubhyameva Samarpaya. My Lord, whatever you have given me, as it is, I want to give it back to you. This is why Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Whatever Krishna has given us, we want to add our devotion in that, and as it is, give it Yatharup, Jashi Ahitashi, offer it back to Krishna. So this is the essence of this one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, in line with what our acharyas have presented. But at this point, I will pause. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.